Hello and welcome to this talk Fly Like a Rocket with Helidon at Jfokus 2021. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here, at least virtually. I really hope that quite soon we will be able to meet in person. My name is Dmitry Aleksandrov and I work for Oracle, and you can find me on Twitter under the following Twitter handle. Like every Oracle employee, I have to show you this slide, like safe harbor, but we are able to skip it fast. So, what is the agenda for today? We got only half an hour, so we have to be quick. So we're going to talk about Helidon. We'll mention a little bit MicroProfile, what it is, how Helidon actually supports it, dive into a little bit deeper with some Reactive APIs, and there will be some surprises for you. So, what is a Helidon? So we call it ourselves as a set of Java libraries for developing microservices. Since it's a little bit hard to say that Helidon is a framework or a micro framework, we are actually more like a MicroProfile based framework, somewhere in the middle. And more information you can find under helidon.io, our official website. You may be wondering where actually the name comes from, and Helidon in Greek means swallow. And I believe this is a wonderful naming for that project, since every time we see swallows fly in the flocks, I personally do imagine like microservices world. And one swallow itself is so graceful and so smart that actually Helidon is a wonderful representation. The best part of it is it's Apache 2.0 license, so it's open source, and you're able to not only take a look at the code, but you actually can contribute, and you're very welcome to do this. Small font and fun to use because we are built on top of NetT, and it's just like several layers above NetT to allow you to use microservices in, as we say, cloud native ready environment. That means that out of the box we support REST, health, metrics, tracing, etc. etc. All of that services all available to you out of the box. And one of the key points that actually makes us a very good competitor, we have a full Graal native image support. That means that even providing standard frameworks, they are all, mostly all of them, compilable to native image of GraalVM. So try it. And once again, one of the other key feature stuff is that Helidon is modern without any compromise. That means that it lives in a Java 11 plus world. No compromises at all for compatibility. So if you intend to run Helidon, make sure you are running on the newest versions of Java. And as a result, what actually user gets is, if you see the results of quite measurements, we have not only JVM and native image measurement, but we also have this JLink measurement. That means that we are supporting building our own customer runtime. And as you can see, the memory consumption is really low, from 28 megabytes in native image till, well, 300 megabytes for JVM. The same is with startup times, so unbeatable fractions of a second for a native image, and JVM is also less than a second actually. And as you see, well, the result of building with JLink, we also take rid of all the garbage we don't need to load, and that's why our loading time is really small. The disk footprint is also really small. Like you may see that native image is 22 megs. That means that all the executable is 22 megs. And for the JVM, well, the jar file is always less than 6 megabytes. So actually, how did we start? It was back in 2015 when it got expired by Spring Boot, I'll be quite honest, and a project airport has started, which was then renamed to Project Prime, and all the microkernels and modules were actually started and or in progress to be created. Where in 2017 it was renamed to Project G4C, and actually that was the foundation of so-called Helidon SE that we'll see a little bit later on. Finally, it was renamed to Helidon. It fully supports MicroProfile, and it was open sourced and moved to GitHub. And back in 2018, it was first publicly released with the version 0.10. Then, next year, the version 1 was production ready, and got its first customers, and now in 2020 we already have the release of version 2 and even 2.2, and we have a wonderful support of Graal Native Image SE features, so it has a commercial support. So now in 2021 we are a fully functional supported product. Yes, and now we have even more things to do, like we are now working on different features like gallery, stability of performance, and once again, if you have any ideas, the project is open sourced, so you are absolutely free to contribute. So let's have a look what actually Helidon is. So as you see, Netty on the bottom, and we are building some things on the top. So first of all, we made the foundations of so-called Helidon Reactive APIs, and then is actually the framework, a set of libraries. Once again, Helidon MicroProfile. Let's have a look from top to bottom approach. Helidon MP, as I said, was based on MicroProfile. That means that it's we are implementing specifications of MicroProfile. As probably all of you know, it is a community specification for enterprise Java microservices, and is hosted under Eclipse Foundations with a lot of participants: Oracle, IBM, Red Hat, Atomic Tribe, even Microsoft is there, and it has a high cadence, 4 releases per year. So more information you can find the official website listed here. Currently, there are 12 specifications, which actually are so microservices world specific, as you may see: tracing, fault tolerance, metric, etc. Although MicroProfile 1 was actually 3 specifications that came out of Java EE. But now these 12 specifications are actually the foundation for MicroProfile. Where is Helidon? Up there. So we do support all of them, and we also add some Jakarta EE specifications, like well, let's see, like WebSockets, like persistence, like transactions, etc., etc. And we also add some specifications which are very much requested by our community, like CORS and gRPC, both server and client. So when you download Helidon, you get all of this out of the box. Let's see what actually we have. So we have MicroProfile config, which is typical configuration, so it's portable. That means that it will work out of the box if you port it as from another server. Health checks, definitely to see the readiness and liveness of our service. Well, metrics, because we're in client, we have to understand where and how actually our application performs. So out of the box, it does emit a lot of monitoring and telemetry information, so we can read it via Prometheus and visualize with Grafana. And of course, there are different scopes, so it's all by specifications. Of course, tracing, because you know, many microservices actually do it via tracing. Have many services, and to see what actually microservices implements a method call or several method calls, you can trace them, and that's why you have this tracing systems like Zipkin and Jaeger, which are like de facto standards, support out of the box for you. Definitely, like every distributed system with its distributed problems, we are able to provide fault tolerance, which is also supported by MicroProfile out of the box. And since we are not only consuming services, but not only actually serving services, we are also consuming the services, and that's why we have this wonderful REST client, which is available out of the box. To document them, of course, we have Open API support. But let us actually dive into the code. So how can we start coding with Helidon? First of all, you can easily go to MicroProfile starter page when you can select Helidon as an implementation and the version, and you will get a POM file which will actually give you directions or be a foundation for your project. But let us do it a different way. So for the developers that we actually love very much, and we try to help them as much as possible, we have created a so-called Helidon CLI tool. So at our official supporting page, you may see how we actually download it and install it. Currently there are versions for macOS and Linux, and by the way, Windows is almost already there, so it also has some builds, so the website will be updated quite soon, and you will have this CLI to start. By the way, this is our help page, and I'm quite really happy that it's so nicely made. So you have all the information with all the examples about everything on this web page, and it is really brilliant as I really see. So check it if you start with Helidon. All the examples are here. So I have made my homework and I have downloaded the Helidon applications. So let us create a project. Helidon.init. This is what we actually need to start a project. It may ask you some questions, so we will answer them now. So we are MicroProfile. We want to create a quick start, and we will give it just default names like package names, etc., etc. It also invites you to do the development loop, which is like we'll come to it a little bit later, so we'll press no for now, and we are done, I guess. So what we have, there's a folder like quick start, and let us see actually what we have in this folder. You will see that it is like a typical Maven project. So if it's typical Maven project, we will have a look at it in our favorite IDE. So let us actually start it. Let it take some time to load. I see it's very fast. As you start, you have a wonderful quick start MP helper page with actually shows you what you can do. And let us have a look at the code. So there are like we provide a greeting service. So first of all is our greeting resource. So greeting resource, here we see a lot of typical annotations from MP. We will not dive much into MP, but as you see, inject the CDI stuff, get producers, messages, etc., etc. And we have a provider, which is actually just an application scope bin, which help us deliver application greetings to us. So to start our applications, we will just actually do Helidon build. So our tool helps us not only initiate projects but also build them. So as you see, it's actually Maven underneath. It will build and test our application, yes, of course, and it is packaging us to a jar file. As it packaged it, we have ability to check it. So actually that it's not an application, it's just a pure Java minus jar for the target and for quick starter jar file. And as you may probably see, it is really fast because of my recording. It started a little bit later, but it's now serving us on port 8080. And let us try to do something with just following the README. So, like for example, we want to send a greeting to the community. And you see it works. Out of the box, it actually already has the tests and metrics. So to see the health, we just check the health, and we see it's up and running. And to understand what is actually like metrics returned that we have out of the box, you see we have made it like a JSON specific return, and we have it out of the box. So you see just with few seconds we started, but that's not only out of the build. We have our Helidon helper tool to develop. So that means that if we go into Helidon dev mode, it will start observing what are the changes we have actually done to our files and see and react and respond to the changes and reload the server for us. We will just actually try to do some changes in Jfokus. Yes, add some changes to even the resources file as they observed as well. And as you may see, as we save it, it reloads the file, And let us try. Yeah, just greet, and as you see, as a result, we have this hello Jfokus world. So, why I usually say that Helidon tool helps us not only actually build and help you develop, but it helps other people that come from different worlds, like for example from Node.js world or from PHP world, to not much care about Java build process. So if you start working with Helidon, it has all the infrastructure for you to start working. So, but that's not all. And that's not all is called, as we usually call it in between us, the danger zone. This danger zone is actually called Helidon SE project, or we usually call it as well Helidon Reactive APIs. As you probably remember the architecture, it lies a little bit underneath the MicroProfile, and what is actually it? So if Helidon MP is like MicroProfile plus Jakarta E, Helidon SE is pure Java, reactive, non-blocking Java. If Helidon MP is fast, Helidon SE is just extremely fast because it doesn't have to do the magic. Small footprint in MP, tiny footprint in Helidon SE. Like Java E style of APIs in MP and pure functional APIs for SE. As we say, so easy, it's transparent, it's no magic. That means that we have everything under control. And if you take a look at the right, this is the usual code that we do for MP. And if you go to the left, this is the same code, but written in SE. As you see, it's just pure Java with no annotations at all. Once again, beautiful because it's built on top of NetE, and it's done with minimal annotation, and there's no dependency injection, so it's so much fast and transparent. Like MP, it also has this components like Reactive Web Server, metrics tracing, gRPC course WebSocket, and some experimental components which are actually already production mode, like Reactive Messaging, Streams, and Web Clients. But the thing we're really proud of is the DB client. So just to make your work really, really easy, and because mostly all the microservices are using DB underneath, database underneath, we have created our own client, which is not blocking database client. That means even existing blocking JDBC drivers can be like accessed in a functional unblocking way with well, just running in a separate execution service, and this, our Helidon DB client driver, is taking care of it. You get all the metrics tracing and health checks available out the box, and it uses the config, so it's quite easy. And by the way, it's just to add from my side to this slide that a big work for making a native image ready is done right now. Web client is just perfect because it's also a reactive non-blocking HTTP client designed like in all the flavors that we do have in SE, and it's extensible. So just using Helidon web client can really ease your life a lot. Of course, reactive streams and messaging. So, well, the funny thing is that Helidon SE is so much reactive that actually reactive support comes directly inside. We have our own implementation of Reactive Streams API from Java 9+, but we also have support for implementation like RxJava and Reactive. But out of the box, you have a full support for reactive APIs, so you don't really have to download something else or make dependent on something else. So that means that for security reasons, you can use Helidon as a self-sufficient system. And as you see, we have JMS and Oracle Advanced Queuing support. Actually, it is already there, so it's like not nearest future, it's already there now. And thus, by so small and tiny and fast, we are so good from our competitors. So that means that sometimes we have the twice performance. So the more the better in this graph. That means sometimes we're performing twice as fast as our competitors. So once again, Helidon MP is like a jetliner, which provides you a comfortable, safe, and predictable flight. But whenever you have to do some performance stuff and special operations, you can use Helidon SE. and it's like a fighter jet. That means it's fast maneuverable. It's very much effective on what it does. But let us actually have a look at it. So what we actually will do, we will see that we have once again use our Helidon init, and this time we will actually create the SE application, the same quick start, and answer some questions like developer no for now. And let's directly type in idea. And yes, it's like quick start, now SE flavor, and see where it is underneath. So once again, it starts with a wonderful helper README file. Yes, the project is really tiny and small, and you see it's a little bit different. So first of all, we got even a main class, which is just a pure Java main class. We start our web server, configure it, and then, as you see, in a very reactive, not actually reactive, but asynchronous way, we call our server, and it actually serves us with a lot of completable future. It serves us in a reactive way. As you see, we got metrics and health available out of the box. So once again, we have the greeting service. The only thing it does is implement a service, which has only one method to override, like update the routing. And now it's a pure Java. So once again, to run it, we actually have just to build it with our Helidon build tool. And it should be really small and easy. By the way, if you do it like with Helidon dev mode, it is also doing the same stuff for you. So let us just once again check the README file and do some curls. Yes, of course, the greeting should work in a very same way. Yeah, oh, well, because something is running on different terminal. Yes. Yep. Nevertheless, so I'll just have to kill all Java. Oh, by the way, I just built it. No way. Yes, because it's not serving. So once again, just type Java -jar, and then target, and then quick starter, Helidon SE. Now, yes, of course, you see in fractions of a second the server is up and running. Now everything is just amazing, and we can do the curls. Of course, now it should work. And by the way, if you see, we already have some metrics and helps, not help but health, available out of the box, the very same way as we did it in the flavor. Yeah, you see, now it's in Prometheus format, the very same way as we did it as for the MP. You see, 2 flavors, you choose what is the best for you. Here you got the ultimate performance. So just check it, it's wonderful. And let's go to our presentation. Once again, just think that the great product has a great responsibility, but good stuff here is that the Helidon MP is fully debuggable here. So it's really awesome. So at the end, what user actually get, so it has an executable jar, which is like a hollow jar, because this third-party dependency is stored separately. So to take advantage of Docker layering, that means that we only build our code and all the libraries are stored in a separate Docker layer, so you don't have to download them all the time. JLink image, so optimized GRE, no code restrictions, and since we are more than Java, we take advantage of it. And of course, GraalVM native image, which is the smallest and the fastest support, but with some limitations, although we are proud to have these limitations really small. As I said, the footprint is really small. But we have actually played with some quick starts to see all the examples that we have now in Helidon, well, demonstrating all the features. I highly recommend to see this sock shop project by on GitHub, It's like a pet clinic, but we prefer to make it like sock shops and demonstrate all the features of Helidon. But everything changes so fast, and Helidon 2.2 is here. And what we have actually, we have initiated the support of Project Loom, GraalVM support, Micronaut data integrations, and multiple JDBC driver support for JPA Hibernate using native image. That's what I said. The native image is our goal, and we support the drivers, and we make it very, very stable and working for you. Let's have a look at some of the key features. First of all, fibers and continuation coming in Project Loom. We already have some experimental support. Actually, this is actually what I'm working now on, is to provide some blocking API, since Helidon is very unblocked and it's very reactive, but to take advantage of fibers, we need to make it like blocking and make JVM care for them. So it's already there, but in some experimental features. Next thing is the Micronaut. You know that Micronaut is a masterpiece in the world of microservices, and to take advantage of all of its modules and recording module, you can actually migrate, or not migrate, but integrate your modules of Micronaut directly to Helidon SE and MP. That means that it's a one-way integration, by the way, so you make the bins from Micronaut available to our CDI container, but not vice versa. But it is possible by doing the following steps. So first add some Helidon dependencies, like bridge dependencies, like MicroProfile and Micronaut data integrations. Then just add some Micronaut dependencies, which is runtime and like data, and if you need the data stuff. And then some plugins to make it compilable, because Micronaut processes everything of its dependencies during build time. And you're done. But since we don't have much time, there's a special pre-recorded demo on our official channel when you can take a look at it, how it's done. The next big thing is GraalVM support. Is actually, as you know, a very much requested feature right now. So it actually much used all over the world. So we have MicroProfile support of it, and we are following the idea that it co-first set of APIs, and we actually, with few annotations, generate schema, make it available, and execute GraalVM queries via HTTP. It's done in SE and MP, both of the environments actually, and whenever you want to take a look at it, please have a look at this demo, pre-recorded especially for you. So Helidon is a masterpiece, I believe, and the world of microservices is so much more and so much efficient. And if you want to know more, please follow us on our official medias, like Medium. We have a lot of articles about it, and helidon.io is a good starting page. And for those who love videos, there's an official YouTube channel which you can watch. The videos are updating quite often. So I hope you have enjoyed this talk, and I hope you find this talk useful. So thank you very much, dear Jfokus. I really want to come, but I hope that this pandemic will be over quite soon and we will be able to meet in person, hopefully next time. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much.